Hello students. Now let us take the nutrient cycling in detail. We are going to consider each nutrient one by one. So for first we are going to take nitrogen into account. You know, nitrogen is most important nutrient that any living organism is going to need because it is an important part of all the amino acids. Amino group is formed by, amine group you must have heard about, that is formed by nitrogen only, and the amino acids are being formed by composition of amine in them. Then there is proteins, which are the building blocks of all living organisms, which are again formed by a polypeptide chain which is having amino acids bound by a peptide bond. So basically, in short, it is this nitrogen which is the most important nutrient that we need. Unfortunately, this nitrogen cannot be fixed by any other organism except for the prokaryotes. Now what I mean to tell you is that our atmosphere has 70% of nitrogen. Roughly, if I have to present it, that 70% of the air is nitrogen only. Alright, but we cannot take, if I am consuming this air inside me, the nitrogen that I take inside, if I am taking 100 milliliter of air inside me and it would have 70 milliliter of nitrogen inside it, it would be given out as it is. All I am going to uptake is oxygen. So where does the nitrogen requirement of all organisms come from? It is going to come from the plants itself. Plants are going to take it from the soil, but the plants are not able to fix nitrogen. Like, you know, the plants are blessed with fixing carbon into glucose by the process of photosynthesis. They cannot fix nitrogen, and nitrogen is much important than carbon. So basically, the nitrogen has to get incorporated into the ecosystem by a complex mechanism which is undertaken by the prokaryotic cells. So it is only the prokaryotic cells which have the fixation, nitrogen fixation mechanism within them that enables the fixation of atmospheric nitrogen into the soil. And when something has entered the soil, it is very easy for plants to take up that. So what we need to understand in nitrogen cycling is that nitrogen is present in the form of N2 in air. It has to be converted to nitrates. Alright, we have abundant nitrogen in air that has to be converted to nitrates with the help of nitrogen fixing bacteria. Alright, and from your knowledge of chemistry, you know that it is not easy to convert N2 to nitrates. It has to be first converted to ammonia by the process of ammonification. Then this ammonia is to be converted to nitrites. Alright, and then it would be converted to nitrates. So this entire process is going to be part of nitrogen cycling. Now understand it from another point of view, from a point of view where you are considering various ecosystems, or in short you are considering the biospheres. So we have atmospheric nitrogen, which is this, alright, N2. This is atmosphere. Now this atmospheric nitrogen has to somehow reach the soil. That would reach the soil by the process of biological N2 fixation, which we study under nitrogen fixation by plants in the case where we study how the root nodules are being formed in the legumes. So they convert it into ammonia. Alright. This ammonia, that is soil ammonia, I would say, this soil ammonia is to be converted to soil nitrites. Alright, these soil nitrites are to be further converted to soil nitrates. These soil nitrates are taken up by the plants. Alright. These plants would be consumed by consumers. You understand it? They would be consumed by consumers. These consumers and these plants would become detritus once dead. This detritus would again be converted to soil ammonia by ammonification. Please see that first the atmospheric nitrogen, how it is available to the plants. The atmospheric nitrogen would be converted to soil ammonia by the process of biological nitrogen fixation, which is exclusive to the prokaryotic cells, or I must say bacteria like rhizobium. Alright. Once this soil ammonia has been done, has been prepared and it is added to the soil, then there would be few microbes like Nitrosomonas, which is again a bacteria. It converts ammonia to soil nitrites. Then there would be Nitrobacter that would convert the nitrites to nitrates, which are available for the plant. Plant can directly take up these nitrates from the soil. So you see, plants are dependent on microbes for taking up the nitrogen, and how it is getting cycled in the ecosystem. Various sources, gaseous and sedimentary, or you can say soil. This is basically a gaseous type of biogeochemical cycle because the reservoir of the nutrient lies in the atmosphere. Now these plants are going to take up the nitrates, they are going to make their biomass. Once dead, they are going to add to the detritus. This detritus would again come back in the form of ammonia that would be cycled. At the same time, few soil nitrates, they get through the process of denitrification. Alright, denitrification, that means nitrates would be converted back to N2. So they are again adding to the atmosphere. Consider this as atmosphere and this is the lithosphere. So again some nitrogen is being added. Whatever is being taken up from the atmosphere is getting back added to the atmosphere only. So it is following a path of cycle somehow. This is again entering it. This entered from this way. Whatever has entered would get back to the atmosphere. This is the entire process of nitrogen cycling, the biogeochemical cycle of nitrogen. Also, you need to pay attention that there is an important physical phenomena of lightning. You see, when there is a cloudy night, there is a lot of lightning. This lightning directly converts, it provides so much energy that it breaks this atmospheric nitrogen triple bond and it leads to formation of nitrates directly so that the plants can take up. That is why it is considered that lightning is an important process for the nutrition of plants. So, you see how the nitrogen is getting recycled and cycled from one source to other and how it is being added back. That is why this is known as nitrogen cycle, and it keeps on taking place in our atmosphere and biosphere around us so that nitrogen is available to all the plants and it is ultimately available to the consumers by the agency of the producers. So this entire is the nitrogen cycling. Thank you.